We're currently experiencing a bit of a downturn in food availability, and Beck rescued this poor girl yesterday out of netting, large aperture netting. So any netting that you can poke a finger through is extremely dangerous. You want some of that glucose? No. And it was over a mandarin tree, and this is the netting, so you can see what I mean. So you can poke fingers through it. They just get completely wrapped in it, so we need to go to the small aperture netting or netting that's similar to shade cloth. So what's the story there, Beck?
She was extremely distressed when I arrived. The person who called her in had actually cut her out of the tree, but which we don't recommend you doing, call us and we can come and do it. But she'd then wrapped the excess netting all around her arms as well. So she was, basically the tops of her wings were both just like clubs, just covered in wrapped netting. It was quite difficult to get her out because she was so frightened that she was trying to free herself and struggling.
So the member of the public, the question is always asked, they weren't bitten or scratched. And
no, they weren't.
Going to remove the netting and put in wildlife safe netting.
Yes.
And she was a little cranky with you yesterday, wasn't she, Beck?
She was very cranky with everything.
She was just terrified.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to get her out, but we did. We normally try to treat them a little bit on the scene for shock, but as you can see...
Bring that one in and show you what happened to Beck's tube of glucose.
She took out a bit of her frustration and fear on my tube.
Got a few holes in it there, Beck.
Yes.
Oh dear, it's leaking back.
Better the tube than my fingers.
Well, you had your PPE on, so that's the main thing.
But yeah, she was very frightened, and she's only just calmed down this morning after a night of rest.
Yeah, so we're going to get her up. Temperature's good. We've given her some glucose. She's been eating. She ate 3 bananas last night. That's why she's covered in bananas.
She's a good eater.
So we thought it best. We'll get her up, get her outside with the other bats in care, and she's definitely a lot calmer than yesterday, which is really good.
Yeah, she is.
And what's her name?
Majira.
And what does it mean?
A friend of mine named her after one of the 3 Furies because I was on the phone to her yesterday telling her about how upset she was and how difficult it was to get close to her.
Okay, and it's just, yes. But she's not today. We might have to rename her today.
She's lovely. She's had a calm rest. She's had a lot of food.
Very pleased to see she's got no swelling in her wrist, which is good. Anyway, we better get on with this. Thanks, Beck.